All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beam Saber, the Cenotaph, Part 19. I am your host and GM and the creator of Beam Saber, Austin Ramsey. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter at NotAnIn. And as always, this stream is presented by You Don't Meet in an Inn, an actual play podcast about exploring obscure tabletop role-playing games with a diverse, rotating cast. You can find that podcast on iTunes and wherever you get your podcasts. If you want the rules for Beam Sabers, you can find them at tinyurl.com/beamsaber. And if you're interested in financially supporting Beam Saber's development, you can do so at patreon.com/AUSTINRAMSAY. And with all of my plugs out of the way, I am joined this evening by Takuma.
Hi, I'm Takuma. My pronouns are they, them. My Twitter is at Takuma_Okada_, and my itch page is takumaokada.itch.io.
Thank you. Also joining us is Sasha.
Hi, I'm Sasha. You can find me on Twitter at Sasha_Arnell and find all my game dev stuff at TCabbage.
Thank you. And of course, also with us is Ray.
Hey, I'm Ray. I use they, them pronouns. My Twitter is at RayRayTheGayGay. I don't do much there. I'm sorry about that.
Well, thank you for being here. And last but never least is Doc.
Hey guys, I'm Doc. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a streamer slash podcaster slash a lot of things. You guys can follow me on Twitter. My podcast is at Movie More Cast on Twitter, and we just released our first bonus episode. Fun times.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to take us over to the play screen, and we'll get back into it. There are many a clock on this screen. There are 7 clocks total active. There's the Rubble Runts, which is at 0 out of 6 ticks, which represents the health of the runts that you are trying to save. There is the Escape Clock, which is at 2 out of 6 ticks, representing getting those folks out of Kingstown. There's the Burden Clock, which is at 7 out of 8 ticks and represents dispersing your foes. And that should have been less because I was afraid that they are a higher tier than you, and so all of your actions should have been 1 level effect lower. But I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to gripe about it. There's also the Arquebusier's Clock, which is at 3 out of 4 ticks, representing the 2 AVs that attacked, or were going to attack, but then were single-handedly distracted by Scarecrow just using her sniper rifle.
He has a name.
Oh, my apologies. What is the name again?
Hugin.
Hugin. Right. Your drone that becomes a sniper rifle. Which is so cool. And then we have the last 3 clocks, which sort of had no interaction so far. Because, well, personally you are here to save the Rubble Runts. If you want to get paid, you have to find Margrave Elreth, Lady Elreth's cousin, because you sought out a financial backer so that you could get some kind of recompense for going into Kingstown, and that took the form of finding a missing person. So there is currently 0 out of 6 clocks in the Find Elreth clock. There's also 0 out of 4 ticks for the Elreth clock, which represents his health. And then there's a question mark clock, which is at 2 out of 6 ticks. And who knows what that could be?
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
My theory is the action is too hot and Elder skips town.
An interesting theory. So, now we need to establish where everyone is. So Scarecrow was on the balcony of a crumbling hotel, which is crumbling much faster now that there's an arquebusier blind firing at her with its anti-Avi machine gun.
And also, we keep blowing up staircases.
Yes. I guess we'll go over to where Tower's at, which is inside of the department store that the Rubble Runts were hiding in. On the 3rd floor, having just demolished the stairs up to it after someone living there shouted that the Rubble Runts were on that floor down to the burden on the levels below. And so Tower blew up those stairs to divert the burden to having to find another way up to that floor. Meanwhile, in the basement, Pitchfork has a... I don't recall, did you put stuff in front of the door to the break/storage room in the maintenance level in the sub-basement? Or is it just closed?
I did mention barricading it, but I don't know if I ever actually described me doing that. Because we kind of shifted to focus on the tripwire. So I'm going to say no. I think that door's just
Closed? Yeah, to be clear, no one down there has a lock for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, outside in the hall, you had set up a tripwire with placed explosives, which went off as some unlucky member of the burden walked into it. And then there is Dredge outside in the streets in the Magpie, and Co had turned a roadway that was already crumbling into essentially quicksand for anything heavier than a person. So there is burden infantry moving across that roadway. So
I'm just doing a little yell at them. It's fine.
Speaking of Dredge, as you're directing your attention to the burden, you notice on a nearby rooftop there is someone waving their arms at you, trying to get your attention.
They've got it. What do they look like on closer inspection?
Upon closer inspection, you realize that you see that this person is looks to be in their 40s. They've got salt and pepper, shoulder-length hair, pulled back into a bun, and they got bronze skin. And you recognize them as Castle Kim, an agent of the Breath of Faith. The one you haven't met them personally, I don't believe, or I think you met them briefly personally at St. Gertrude's funeral.
I was shaking a lot of hands. It was kind of a blur.
Yeah, Pitchfork and Demon had a much closer experience with them since they were in the limo with Bishop Finmal, and they attempted to recruit Demon into spying on the hyenas, and instead he fucked off and just joined them. So yes, you can see Castle Kim. They're wearing like loose, ill-fitting, tattered robe with a head shawl in similar condition, with their hair bun poking out the back of it. What do you do?
That's weird. I guess I could try calming over myriad waves. Those are words that I put in a sentence. Like talk to them without leaving the mech is the idea.
Yeah. Cycle through to
and not through like a loudspeaker, because that seems obnoxious.
Yeah, fair. Okay. I think that this will be a roll to try and find the right frequency.
Okay. What?
Check the back of the box.
Oh right, yeah. Which box?
Metal Gear Solid joke.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I. Can I wager for a scan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I'm gonna do that then.
So this will be risky standard.
Okay. Risky and standard. 2 dice. Oops. Oh, a 1 and a 4.
Well, the 4 gets you success. Let's see. Where do I want to put the consequence?
Great.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to add 2 ticks to the question mark clock. And so you're cycling through the channels, and then finally you hear, "Can you hear me, Dredge?" Repeating, "Can you hear me, Dredge?" Repeating.
Yep. Yep. Hi.
Hey.
Dredge reporting.
Yeah, thanks for answering. So I recognize that this isn't the best time, but when you're in the field, you got to make some calls, and so I'm making a call. It calls in both sense, I guess.
Fair.
Yeah. So I know that you don't have the best relationship with Tusser.
That's accurate.
Yes. But she has... my information says that she has reached out to you before for assistance.
Also accurate, unfortunately.
Yes. We believe that the Saints are going to be putting out a contract looking for assistance in clearing out an environmentally dangerous space, and we want the Cenotaph to take the contract.
This could have fit in an email? Well, all due respect.
Potentially, yes. However, there is some concern about compromises in my organization.
Interesting.
The Saints are extremely powerful. And there's only so many agents in the breath.
Oh, okay. That's all very intriguing. Are you expecting an answer now, or what's up?
Well, it would be nice, because otherwise I need to go and try and find someone else I can talk into taking this contract.
Okay. What's the what's the ETA on this?
On the answer or the mission?
On the mission.
I suspect it'll be in the next couple weeks. As far as I can tell, they're still doing the more standard labor, hence why they're looking in Kingstown for people to help them out.
Okay, tell you what, I don't really know you, and from what I've heard about you is standard spy secret organization stuff. If you can help us out here, that will help us sort of expedite that job much higher on our list of things to do.
I think that's also a roll, but what do you want to roll for this?
God damn it. Fucking sway? It's a thing I have a point in.
Okay, I'm going to say this is risky great because you have leverage.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. No, this will be risky standard because Castle Kim is like tier 3 or 4.
That's fair. Can I get help with this?
I don't know how I would help, but sure. I'm not much better at talking to people than you are.
Just like anybody. Well, I mean, intel on this person would be handy also, because I didn't really talk to them at the place at the funeral, and also I was
Also-
associating for most of it.
Yeah. Also, me helping you would put me 1 point away from getting another scar. So, I can, if you'd like.
I can offer a devil's bargain.
I'm interested.
Some burden reinforcements will arrive.
Oh, all right. Just reinforcements, huh? No deets on that. Okay.
I will be taking 2 ticks off of the burden clock.
No, we're so close to that. Yeah, I'll just roll the 1, I guess. Okay, so that's a consort.
Sway?
Sway, you're right. I'm not trying to flirt with this person. Risky?
We could.
Risky great, yes.
Risky, great. Oh
I
my
thought it
God.
was risky standard.
Ah, yes,
It
risky
was-
standard. Thank you,
I'm
Ray.
sorry.
Did we have homework this week? I don't remember.
Look.
I'm past that phase of my GMing. Oh, that's a 1.
Cool.
8.
Cool and good.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I know exactly what I'm going to do with this.
Bummer.
Bummer.
Fun and good.
So the first thing is that y'all are losing 1 point of trust with this Church of the Celestial Myriad, because Kim says, "Excuse me?
Christ.
I'm a hand-picked agent of the faith. You don't say no to me. You're going to do this contract or there will be consequences. Do you understand?"
It's not what I was asking. God damn it.
This is not a quid pro quo situation.
What's the honorific again?
Of what?
Of them. Of people in the myriad. It's elderkin, is that right?
I mean,
Is that-
it varies
like-
from organization to organization, and I don't think the Breath have an honorific.
Okay. Well, understood.
Was that in character? Sorry, I wasn't sure if that was in...
No, that was fully in. Yep, that's in character. I am buckling like a tin can. It's fine. I'm just a big softy. When it gets down to it, it's fine.
Okay, Kim says, "Glad to hear it. Good luck with helping out the runts." And then they head for the rooftop access.
No, disappearing into a puff of smoke. No, vanishing into a beam of light. All right, I see it.
It's hard to pull a Batman exit when you've got a mech over there.
The other consequence is I'm removing 1 tick from the burden clock. Because while you're distracted, some burden infantry are able to move up. Just 1 tick.
Just gonna calm the others. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that we've got another job lined up after this. Job security is a good thing. The bad news is that you've got some more reinforcements headed your way.
Copy.
Speaking of the people in the department store, Pitchfork.
Yep.
So, where are you in relation to the door?
Probably if it's closed, then I'm probably next to it. I don't know what standard operating procedure for this is, but probably next to it.
Okay. So, you hear a woman's voice shouting through the door. Sounds like she's down the hall a little bit. Wait, am I? Yes, okay. It's Hannah Copeland, your friend from back in the day and current bird and cell leader. And she yells down the hall, Keiko, is that you in there?
Do I answer? Yes.
Keiko, what are you doing helping the runts?
I'm getting these kids out of here.
Keiko, they're criminals.
They're kids.
And they should be in detention for being criminals. They extort and they steal and they harm others. Our own people, Keiko. They're a blight on Kingstown.
You really think a bunch of kids running around is the cause of your problems?
Keiko, you say that like they aren't an organized criminal group. Like they don't have protection rackets set up, taking money from the shopkeepers in the yard. Like they don't have some kind of arms deal. If they're in there with you, I bet you can see that they've got guns on them. You think that dune buggy of Layla's is the only vehicle they have?
Yeah, they're barely armed. I wouldn't... Oh, my God.
Yeah, they're barely armed because we took them down a peg. I'll give you a choice. If you hand them over, you and yours can walk out, and the runts that you give to us, they're just going to be doing a little penal labor. They'll be treated fairly, but they're not going free, and they're not going to be executed. Or harmed, to be clear.
I don't like the sound of that.
They need to pay back their debt to society, and we don't exactly have a prison system. A little work will do them good. They'll learn some trades, and then they'll be able to help out in ways that aren't taking money and resources from the needy.
Hannah, society owes them. They're fucking abandoned kids.
Yeah, and they turn down the offer of the burden for us to help them. They aren't interested in remaking society or becoming part of it. They're just trying to get rich off of the backs of others. We want to turn this place around.
By hunting down off-worlders?
Yes. By getting them off of our world. This is our home, Keiko. They don't belong here. Why are you working for these colonialist fucks?
I don't know if she answers after that. Yeah, if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. No, I don't have anything.
Okay, so she shouts back. Okay, if that's how it is, Keiko. Or I guess, if that's how it is, Pitchfork. And then the door by the elevator that connects to the stairwell kicks open, and some burden people rush in. What do you do?
Okay.
It's across the room. The runts are sort of crowded near the elevator, so they're kind of between you and the burden. Not completely, but kind of in the way.
Hmm. I am probably gonna throw a grenade.
What kind of grenade?
A flash grenade.
All right, what do you want to roll for that?
Oh boy. Okay. Is this just a struggle?
It might just be a struggle.
Okay.
It's a good thing
Yeah.
you're the soldier.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna roll a struggle here. Am I gonna push myself? Nah.
Okay, let's see. This will be limited
Maybe I should push myself.
because while you are outnumbered, you neutralize that by using the grenade, but also the burden are a higher tier.
I'll take it. Actually, can I trade position for effect? That's a thing.
Yes, it is. You could go desperate standard.
Oh, that sounds good to me. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Let's do that.
Do you want a
This is-
devil's bargain?
I think I'm good for now. I'm just gonna roll and see what happens, you know?
Okay, how many dice you rolling?
2. I have 2 in struggle.
That's not bad.
It's not terrible. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. Alright, here we go. That's a 4. I'll take a 4.
That's a
On
4.
a desperate.
Okay, let's see what happens. Well, I think the first thing that happens is, you throw the flashbang, and I think your aim is, or no, your aim is not off. What happens is that one of the burden people sees it and yells grenade, and then kicks like or not kicks, but thrusts a like a lazy boy chair on top of it. Like it's just on top of the problem, and so that's going to be reduced effect. So you get limited. Oops. Okay. And then let's see. Yeah. So I think the other thing that happens is that so there's 3 of them that came out of this doorway. One of them shoves the chair on, and then the other one, the other 2, they open up on the crowd of people with their what would they have? I don't think they have full assault rifles. I think they probably have machine pistols, and so they just open fire with these like basically Uzis on the crowd. So that'll be 2 ticks.
I want to resist using everybody hurts.
Which is...
You may expend your special armor to resist a consequence from ambushes, physical or not.
Very good. So, how do you use your new type powers to avoid this consequence? What does that look like?
I think, like, as soon as the conversation is, like, beginning to turn sour, I can like kind of feel that Hannah's got something like in the works, like just a gut feeling. And then like the moment the door opens, the grenade is being pulled out, it's being thrown, and I'm already moving to get in front of these kids.
Okay. So yeah, you distract them with the flashbanging yourself, and I think they knew that Hannah was like going to try and talk to you, and they recognize you from the description, and so they hesitate a moment, and so that is you like interposing yourself in the flashbang stops them for the moment, but clearly they are going to like react very soon. But we're going to go from one explosion to another. And Tower, you just got blasted by your own bomb to a degree, and shot a little bit as well.
As you do.
Yep. Half of the runts are up here with you. What are you doing?
So I'm gonna do what I've been wanting to do all week. Which is, the person that yelled and got the runts up here to begin with.
You mean the burden?
The burden up here to begin with. I'm sorry. Bleh. I'm going to mark off my big taser thingy.
Your stun baton? Yeah.
My stun baton. And I'm going to back them up out of the door that they came out through. I'm just gonna point it at them.
So this guy is so on this floor of the retail of the department store, there's these sort of bit higher than waist high counters that normally would have been filled with jewelry of various kinds, and they have entrances for the staff to walk into. And so this guy, he's basically turned one of these stalls into a shanty. He's put a tarp over top and hung some fabric over the sides to give himself some privacy from whoever's up here. You can see that there's an ad hoc wood stove inside of it with a little metal chimney poking out the top. And so you back him into his home. And so he's in there, and there's another person, and this other guy gives a shout and is like, "Ah, hey!" And the guy who you're threatening is backed up against the counter and is like, "Hey, I didn't mean anything by it, okay? All right, I'm sorry."
I don't care what you meant by it for me. I care that you almost got 30 kids killed by doing some stupid shit. You don't get to put lives like that at risk. I'm phrasing this so badly. It's out of character.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I essentially just I want Tower to sort of talk about what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get him to stay there, and I'm trying to scare him into staying there, and I'm trying to get it so that he won't interfere once we bring the next batch of kids up, is what I'm really trying to do.
Okay.
Because these are baby children.
Yeah, he says, "Yeah, no problem. Whatever you want. Okay? Please just don't hurt either of us." And I think the other guy interposes himself between the guy you are threatening and you, and is I think he's so close to the end of your stun baton that you see a spark jump between your baton and his chest. and just like a static, not enough to like really hurt him, but enough that he'll feel it. And he says, what does he say? He says, my husband's just trying to get rid of these kids who hold us up, okay? He didn't mean nothing by it. He's just trying to look out for us.
I understand that, and I understand that they're doing some bad shit, but that doesn't mean you know what the burden we're going to do, and you know the burden are going to kill these kids. I'm not going to hurt you, and I wouldn't hurt you, but these are children. They're children making stupid choices, but they're children. And keep that in mind. And keep in mind that I am here, and I will be here until they're gone.
Yeah, okay, just leave us alone. I think...
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's it. And that they're clearly terrified of you.
I, as me, don't like that, but I think Tower got what they wanted. So.
Yeah, let's see. So to be clear, while you were doing that, the burden was working on finding a way around. And so you hear a staircase at, like, the far end of the, Actually, no, it's not a staircase at the far end. You can hear, when you come back out, you can hear footsteps rushing up the staircase that flanks the elevator. And so you know that they're coming up those stairs, and they will be here very shortly.
Okay.
What do you do?
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run outside, and I'm going to start, like, working on getting these kids to, start climbing down the side of this building. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get them out of here.
So you're just going to, like, one of the large broken windows on this floor, and...
Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to try and get them, like, I mean, my main goal in this is getting them out of here without getting harmed.
And are you going with them?
Can I ask a question about the layout of the building?
Yeah, sure thing.
Is there a way for me to get into the bottom, into the basement where the rest of them are being held, from the outside of the building?
Let's see. Yeah, y'all have your throat mics presumably and have been in conversation about what's going on. So there is 3 ways into that sub-basement. There's the elevator. There's the staircase flanking the elevator, which has the people coming up it to meet you, and then also the people who went down and who were just flashbanged by Pitchfork. And then there's the other staircase, which is the fire escape on the opposite end of the sub-basement room. And that is the one where Hannah and her group of burden people are threatening Pitchfork from.
Okay.
So, technically yes, but also... But also you'd have to come back inside, and then there are burden at both of those staircases.
Okay, so no, I'm not gonna go down with them.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, do they have, like, the equipment and everything?
Absolutely
Yes.
not. They have no
yep.
gear for climbing.
I had thought we had established something last session about this.
It was you used your climbing gear to climb up the elevator so that you could assist in the repairs of it.
Fuck. I'm so dumb. Okay, then I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to throw Mike to Pitchfork. And just say, like, look, we've got no way of getting these kids out of here without taking apart some of the shit from the elevator. What can you spare?
I don't know how any of this works.
Can you get them out another way?
We're gonna imagine that like the camera shows like Pitchfork in like close quarters combat with these three burden people, like having fisticuffs and like just getting their guns just off to the side as there's like a burst of gunfire, just holding her own against these three people. And having this conversation with Tower about like, hey, can you give me a rope?
Okay, I think, I think I'm just going to mark off actual climbing gear as, yeah, I've got the ticks for it, and that's the last of my equipment. But I think I'm just gonna mark off, like, actual climbing gear, and...
Oh, Ray, you cut out there.
Oh, where did I cut out?
You're back now, and you just said you marked off the actual climbing gear.
Yeah, so I think I probably didn't pack this ahead of time. I think I probably like found it in a store when we were like making our way through the back and stuff like that, and like an old like or whatever.
Sure, it's taking up load, so I'm not going to charge you stress flashback.
Yeah, no. So I've just got like a fuck ton of paracord and shit. And I think I gather the kids around like really quickly, and I show them how to like tie the knots and stuff that I don't know how to do, but I'm sure Tower does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like get them to a point where they're safe to rappel down the side of this thing.
Okay, so to be clear, when you want others to do a task, when you want a essentially cohort to do a task, that is a command roll. It is not something that is negotiated.
Fun.
Yep. If you lead them in the task, you can roll the action itself. But if you... Oh, wait. Yeah, if you're there to command them, it's a command roll. Or if you're there to give orders, it's a command roll, I mean. If you just tell them to go do a thing, they roll their tier.
Well, but I'm like trying to show them how to do it, and like...
Yep. So that'll be a command.
Is there a way I can roll something other than command? Because I have nothing in that.
You could lead them in the action and go with them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I can get in back. Okay. I'm making a choice here. Okay, I'm gonna lead them in that action. I think I'm just gonna I think I spend like 2 minutes trying to like get them to figure it out, and like I keep getting a bunch of like just the same question over and over again, so I just like...
I don't think you have 2 minutes.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you take a quick moment to help them.
Right, and everyone just looks really confused, so I just sort of like sigh and then motion, I'll do it myself kind of thing.
So this will be... Wait, well, what are you going to roll?
Finesse? If I'm like actually tying knots and...
I think
like...
Prowl would be more appropriate.
Oh, okay.
So,
I just didn't...
Yeah.
I didn't know if...
I mean, you
Okay.
can roll either, but...
No, I'll take Prowl. I've got 3d6 in that.
Yeah, okay. So I think that will be risky standard.
Yeet. Okay.
No, you said you were climbing down, not just jumping.
Yeah. Bad.
Okay, so make that risky standard prowl roll. Oh no!
Oh my god!
Yikes.
That's a 1, a 3, and a 3.
Oh no! I should have taken it as a desperate and gotten an extra.
Okay, so here's what happens.
Oh, it was 3 dice. Should have gone so well.
Yeah. So what happens is that you're like on the edge of the broken window's lip, like sort of you're outside of the building, showing them like how this is gonna work as you're about to as the first kid's about to come out. And that's when the door bursts open in the stairwell, and there's 4 burdened people, and one of them has an assault rifle, and the other 3 have submachine guns, and they open fire on the crowd. And miraculously, well, not just miraculously, but also with the runts actually, being experienced criminals, they scatter and take cover behind the various retail counters. So no one's seriously injured, except for you, because one of those bullets, with a fluke, hits the rope supporting you, and so you drop down the 3 floors.
I was really scared you were gonna kill those guys. I was
No.
so scared.
No, but now you can hear a gunfight coming from the 3rd floor as you fall 3 stories.
Fuck.
Uh,
Fall damage,
What?
that's the worst kind of damage.
So you are going to take level 2 harm, broken rib.
For
Ow.
3 stories, that's not bad.
No. I mean, the harm, no, it's not bad. Also, so I think
gunfight?
you like crashed through someone's shanty that is built onto the side of this building, like right through their sheet metal roof. Like just the whole thing collapses, and so it kind of breaks your fall, but it's still not
But
gentle.
that's someone's house.
Yeah, you definitely hear someone shout in pain from inside. You gonna resist or declare armor or anything, or?
I don't have any load.
Oh yeah, right.
That was the last of it. So,
Oh right, and you no longer have profiteer rigging. You have smuggler panels now, because you all
Yeah.
switched to logistics.
yeah. Oh no.
Okay, so the runts are okay for now, as you groan in pain in this
Yeah.
the rubble of this shack.
Bad.
We're gonna go over to Scarecrow.
That
So-
went well.
Hello.
Scarecrow. The pilot of the Arquebusier remembers that the Arquebusier has jump jets and is going to Goomba Stomp the hotel you're in. What do? You watch as it leaps up over the building it was hiding behind across the street and is coming down hard on top of the hotel.
Well, I would have liked a chance to act during all the blind fire, but let's see.
You know what? You're right. What do you do? You're right. You used your ability. You had it pinned. What did you do while it was pinned?
Okay. So what I would have liked to do is we discussed this, and since Hugin is a autonomous drone, I can have him fire off a couple shots autonomously.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first part of the plan: is leave him have him fire off a couple shots on delays. Not necessarily trying to hit, but just to give the impression that there's still a active combatant there.
Yep.
While I go down some floors and try to find an exit to another rooftop or something.
Okay.
Because I don't have a topology of the area.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're the scout, and you went in here beforehand. Do you want to declare a flashback and spend some stress to say that you already have an escape route planned?
Yeah, sure. So actually... Okay, you know what? I have a single question.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, can I declare this as part of the flashback? Ooh, I like this idea. Be like a twin building situation.
Oh, that the hotel is like two towers next to each other?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So so I have an escape route and some of that, like, ghost in the shell urban sprawl, like, building additions and like shanties and stuff over the side. I have mapped a route where I can, like, I'd say make not a completely safe, but a reasonably reliable exodus from building A to building B
Yeah.
while Hugin is still firing.
Okay.
So I'd like to. So how much stress am I spending here?
I think that'll be a one stress flashback. You had the opportunity to do so. It's not a stretch.
Okay. So I'm thinking, like, Hugin's firing. She goes back out. She goes down the stairwell, probably like one or two floors, runs over to the other one, and as she comes out, I think she's actually going to the roof of the second one.
Okay.
And we're as the fire stops, and I think she can intuit, oh hey, that's a jump jet. I think that's where she sends the little whistle, and Hugin comes back to her, and she's preparing to fire at a position where she's expecting the enemy to be.
Okay. All right. Yep. So this will be risky standard.
Standard.
Yeah. So the arquebusier, you can hear the rumble of its jump jets, as you said, and then it comes rocketing literally up over the top of the building across the street and crashes down on top of the tower of this hotel. And you've got your shot prepared. So, risky standard, what do you want to roll?
I think this is going to be Hunt.
Yep, that's what I expected.
Is there a devil's bargain?
Some shrapnel or like debris from the arquebusier crashing into the hotel hits Hugin. Sorry, was it Hugin or Munin?
Hugin.
Hits Hugin, and his ability to autonomously operate will be knocked offline temporarily. You can still use him as a sniper rifle, but he isn't going to be able to like fly around and do stuff for the rest of this mission.
All right, you know what? I'll accept that.
Okay.
And I'll take that for an additional die. So.
Hey, that's a 6. All right. So this arquebusier comes crashing down on the hotel tower, just like 20 feet away. It is so close, it feels like you could reach out and touch it. And in a sense, you do. The head of the arquebusier, its hunched form, turns as it picks you up at like the last moment, and you've got your shot lined up, and you take it. And how do you disable the arquebusier?
I think I'm shooting through the cockpit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it hits the head of the arquebusier where the cockpit is located, and punches right through with your armor-piercing round. And there's a very particular way that AVs collapse when the pilot has died, but the AV's intact. It just kind of goes floppy, like there's nothing, just like its strings have been cut. And that's what happens with the arquebusier. It just collapses inside of the ruins of this partially standing hotel tower. And that is the arquebusier clock filled.
Woo!
Where do you go from there, Scarecrow?
Well, I'm crossing back to the other building, and I'm going after the now freed up arquebusier.
Okay.
Amazing.
Um.
Also gross, but amazing.
Let's see.
If you need to think, this is a good chance to cut away.
I'm just trying to figure out whether or not this would require a roll. I think it would because the building is unstable. Because parts of it are still standing. Like the arquebusier is smaller than the whole tower was, but it is in very bad shape. So what do you want to roll to try and reach the arquebusier's cockpit?
I would say prowl to move without upsetting things.
Yeah, sounds good. So that'll be risky standard.
Excellent. And I'm not going to push here. It's a 5.
That is a 5. Okay. All right, I know what the consequence is. So, I am just going to re-empty this arquebusier clock. So normally, when you take a temporary vehicle of an AV's scale, it is a 6-tick clock for using it. When you want to push it, you add a tick. When you want to resist with it, you add 3 ticks. When it takes damage, that adds an appropriate number of ticks, depending upon your position. But it seems that when you fired your round into the cockpit, it punched through the pilot's skull, killing them, and then it damaged some important equipment of the controls. So instead of being a 6-tick clock, it is a 4-tick clock that you have to play with the arquebusier.
Gotcha.
So this arquebusier has machine guns and a mobility suite, and that's it. Also, a couple of holes in it from a certain sniper rifle. Also a mess in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does this look like? You reach the cockpit.
Okay, well, the first question is, how does an arquebusier open up?
So I think that the way it opens up is that it doesn't actually have like a mouth, but where a mouth would be on the shape of its head, like lowers, and then kind of like a tongue, out comes the ladder that would normally be climbed up by the pilot.
Okay, so the pilot, so the cockpit kind of stays open above the pilot, and the pilot's almost kind of like hanging out of it.
The pilot seat comes down. It's attached to the bottom of the jaw as it lowers down. So like, I think the body actually like flops forward on its 5-point harness as the jaw lowers to like an angle for someone to get in.
So if I can add a detail here, I think what kind of happens is like, so, you know, she pops the external access, like, you know, pulls the panel, punches in like a universal code or something. It lowers, and then like the actuators to like, I'm seeing kind of like almost like a bit of like one of those Stairmaster things where like the whole seat's supposed to come down, and the actuator is busted. So you have to like reach up and like give it a good yank to just like pull the guy out, and that like makes the whole body lurch and so on. At that point, she's going to quickly pat for weapons and pockets, release the harness, and then get in.
So you search this guy, the pilot. He's got a wallet and he's got a sidearm, and that's it.
Yeah. I don't know what petty cash looks like, so I don't think I'm going to go that morbid.
What do you do with the wallet? To be clear, he does not have 1 cash's worth of money on him.
Yeah.
It's like, if you open it up, there's like his ID, a picture of him and his partner and their kid. some like money for like the vending machine at base or whatever.
Okay. So what I think I'm actually going to do here is not just going to leave him in like a collapsed heap. I'm actually going to move him so he's laying down. Close the eyes if he's still got him. Not 100% sure how much mess. Actually, you know what? Does he have a helmet on?
He did not, and we're not going to get into the mess.
Cool.
Yeah, to be clear,
Alright.
he is a burden pilot, so he doesn't have a uniform on or like a lot of the gear that a Myriad pilot would when they're piloting this thing.
Okay, so what I'm leaving him with as much dignity as I can, and what I'm going to do is put down the wallet and then lay out the photos in like a little grid. Like it's just like a little. I'm not sure what the word is for. It's like a little memorial for him. There's a little resting spot until he gets picked up, if he ever does.
Hey, your first act as a member of the Cenotaph, really.
Yep. And then strap in, and then I imagine like because I've described the actuators as being broken, like it's like punch it, got, like manual levers and stuff,
Yeah.
and then it closes up.
I can see it being kind of like a car jack, like you got to pump it a couple times for the jaw to close.
I like
Okay.
it.
And so the arquebusier powers up. You can see that it's taken some damage from your rounds busting through it. But it is yours, and it is ready to fight.
Okay.
Dredge, what are you doing?
I don't know.
You watch an arquebusier Goomba stomp a nearby building, and then drop, and then a little while later it gets back up, which you know is Scarecrow, of course, because the two of you are in contact.
Yeah, assuming that you're telling me that you're doing this, that would be nice.
Yeah. That if we didn't cutscene there, my next thing was going to be contacting. It's like, all right, we have an arquebusier.
Okay.
I mean, that can be the scene transition.
I see that. Kind of impressed by that. Just looking at all of these various clocks, very unhappily.
Just a moment. Is this the first AV that we've hijacked in this campaign?
No, I think
Does Otherbert count? That's the only one I can think.
I feel like Otherbert counts.
Otherbert didn't have a pilot. There's a big difference between stealing and hijacking.
Oh,
I ripped someone out of another stripped down arquebusier in the other burden.
Right.
Yeah.
that's true.
True. Okay.
I stole a truck.
That's what we do to the birds.
Actually,
I guess.
I remember this. I'm just curious, just to split hairs a little bit though, because I think that was during like prep and launch. I'm not sure it was active yet. I'm wondering.
Like Otherbert?
No, the
No,
other arquebusier.
the arquebusier.
The extremely stripped down one that was still being worked on. But anyways, I was just wondering if this was the christening the campaign of a sort, because it always seems to happen in a Beam Saber campaign.
Somewhere.
What is it? Yeah, the longer Beam Saber campaign goes, the chances of hijacking not occurring approach 0. So yes, Dredge.
Where am I useful? Maybe that's a question I like ask on the comms. Okay, where am I useful?
Could use a little help here. Anyone? Literally anyone, please. Please help me.
Okay. How big is an arquebusier?
Like 30 feet.
Okay.
I don't think especially far from. Am I especially? I don't think I am. I'm not especially far from the thing, so I will weave my way over there. You are in the basement?
I am.
In the sub-basement.
Sub-basement, yeah.
The basement's basement.
Okay. I can get the magpie there. I don't think anyone's going to like it.
You know what? I don't think we've ever seen the magpie, like, squeeze this small, but we have established that that is the thing it can do, as its squeezing is only restricted by the size of the cockpit.
Okay. Yeah, fuck it.
Oh,
Here comes a nightmare.
this is some no-face bullshit, and I am not okay with it.
Squoosh.
Our local Bloodborne character piloting a Bloodborne boss strikes
Oh,
again.
I have plans as far as that is concerned, but that is for a downtime where I can talk to Austin off mic. Okay, so all right, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Turns out I have. Oh my god. I think what this is finding an opening, probably like a display window or something because it's a department store, and breaking into that, and then I think moving the hands in first, and
Swimming.
kind of it's like the hands are autonomous and spreading out through different hallways and different parts of the department store,
No, thank you.
and headed down.
Just pulling yourself along.
Uh-huh.
No, thank you.
And it's the knell is still on, so this sounds very bad.
Oh dear.
The air wiggler.
Yep.
Okay, what do you want? What do you want to roll to get your AV through this department store to the sub basement?
I guess technically that's a maneuver, but I'm better at manipulate. Is the thing.
Adrian in chat says, "How is this even worse than I thought it would be?" And like, seriously. This is reminding me of something, and I can't place it. I think it might be that, like, fort boss. I think it's in Cuphead. There's the, like, candy boss that gets fought. And then there's the phase where there's, like, her whole fortress is pulling itself along with its arms and, like, dragging itself across the ground. And I think that's what I'm, like, picturing is like the magpie just like using its multitude of limbs to like pull itself through in like the worst way possible.
Yeah. If you want a good visual reference, the music video for Siam's The Wolf, I think is probably also a good reference.
Oh,
The
yeah.
wolves, like, when they come through the shadows and they're like these crawling, shadowy masses.
Ugh.
Also, just reliably Felix Kramer's Strangers. Whenever I am invoking anything, it's that. Yeah. So If I'm in communication with you, you're probably directing me where to go. Pitchfork.
Yeah,
Poor
Is that accurate?
Pitchfork.
Are you, like we're in the basement. Is that? Can I get that much or?
Yeah, I think it's like it can't be that difficult to get down here, right?
I think that's an assist roll.
There are like multiple staircases, so
I would be delighted by an assist roll. To be honest, I have not been rolling super well, and I could use it.
At least it wasn't a 1, a 3, and a 3.
You know, small favors. Well, we don't know yet. Is the thing.
what
Okay.
would an assist for this be though? I'm thinking like I'm just giving you directions, but I'm wondering is that
I think that's enough. If you have more, I'd be glad to hear it. But I think that is enough.
just a command? Is that like
Well, you're assisting. You don't roll anything.
Oh no, yeah, sorry. I thought I mixed up setup and assist for a second. Yeah, here. Have
What are your
what do you
beliefs?
need?
What are your beliefs with Dredge?
I still only have I can feel Ko's a good person. I implicitly trust Core.
Is that the very first one that you had, or
Yeah. Yep. I have not added a belief with Tower or Dredge ever.
you?
Never in my life.
Everyone else is friends. You're just a coworker.
Yep.
where's my best friend? I don't know if I'm hers.
Mm.
I have 3 with Keiko, so yeah, more or less.
Okay, so you spend that 1 stress.
Yeah, I've got 2. Jeez.
All right. And so what are you rolling, Dredge?
Okay, give me the uprights on maneuver versus manipulate.
I think maneuver is going to be the more effective one.
Okay.
Both will be risky. I think manipulate will be limited, maneuver will be standard.
Okay.
Y'all,
Uh-huh.
I accidentally stopped recording.
Okay, well, start again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just think we might have to do an extra clap.
That's fine.
Okay, we'll do it at the end. So
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Okay. We're back on.
All right.
Okay. Well, I've got an extra die, so I'm gonna do maneuver. Maybe that 2d6 will come through. We'll find out, I guess.
So you're
I swear to God, if I get stuck in this fucking building, I swear to God.
You're taking an extra die from the assist.
Mm-hmm. You got any devil's bargains for me?
You crush like just someone who's living in here in your haste.
Absolutely not. So that's 2d6. Risky standard? Is that
Yep.
accurate?
Yep,
Okay.
risky standard.
2d6. Come on, baby. Something good.
Hey, that's
That's
a
5.
5.
The 1,
Okay.
but I'll take the 5.
All right. Let's see. Risky consequence. Yeah. So take the level 1 damage scraped.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of sharp metal in here from like people's homes and damaged in like parts of the building, and so it like tears into some various sections of the pliable plastic shell of the magpie. So you take that level 1 damage. And let's see, what is the other one I want to do?
It was a 5, though.
Yes, the risky position. So
Okay.
a consequence. That was 1 controlled consequence, and now I'm going to do the other. Going to add a tick to the question mark clock.
Oh, I'm gonna resist because I have the quirk rubbery and flexible. So I'm gonna burn that to do that.
Okay.
How that works?
How are you? Well, describe to me how you're resisting this.
It's I think it's the sort of edges like piercing into it and then coming out, and the obby isn't scratched. Like it bends, it does not break.
Okay, so you're resisting the damage, not the clock.
I guess, yeah. I don't know how to resist the clock because I don't know what it is. So
Okay. Here's a bit of openness on my part as a GM. It is a countdown. I won't say for what.
cool. What are we at? That's bad.
5
That's a
out of
bad
6.
number
It is bad.
seconds.
It is bad.
Okay.
Anything that makes you a little faster, probably. In this case.
Yeah. What do I need to burn to do that? To resist that also?
Well, tell me how you resist it.
Great. I literally, if I get anything lower than a 5 rolling for stress, I will scar out, and in a point where Bellevue will not be returning to this campaign. So
Why are you doing this?
because I don't like that countdown. That's very close to the thing that I'm afraid of, which is a full clock.
Yeah, but
Um,
I like your character.
so
I do too.
So you're resisting the damage. First off, are you doing that, or are you still trying to figure out Because
Well, I had marked off rubbery and flexible to do that. If I can mark off rubbery and flexible to somehow resist the other clock, I will be astounded and I'll take the damage.
I could see that being as like you move, like you in your movements through the building, you emphasize the unusual shape of the magpie to go quickly
Okay.
in ways that an Avi even of like a similar size wouldn't be able to do.
Okay, I'll take scripts then.
But
Sweet.
question, that sounds like expertise to me. How many what's dice,
I have-
so to speak, do you have in expertise?
2 in expertise.
Okay, so it is 4 quirks to resist something minus the number of actions you have. So that'll be 2 quirks you have to burn to
Okay.
resist this.
I'll burn the Nell then. Because I'm also doing that. Just sort of either, just like moving where things that would use the ground to travel would have trouble. I do not, so I don't.
Okay.
Fucking sentence. I'm very sorry.
No, I get it. You're scanning clear ways and shoving stuff out of the way and moving in unnerving fashions.
That's me.
Yeah. So is the cockpit at the front of the magpie's length?
Hang on. I drew a sketch of it at one point. I'm gonna look at that sketch and verify. I think it is. I think it is in the head area.
Yeah, I recall it having a head. It's a very gaping dragon little head, I
Yeah.
recall.
Yeah. We'll say it's there. Yeah.
Okay. So the front of the magpie pokes into this stairwell that Pitchfork has been directing you to. And there's like 10 people in the stairwell, heavily armed. At the front of them, you see Hannah Copeland, who you met briefly back in Wander when you had that encounter with the dragon.
Huh. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, she was the one who ended up paying y'all for destroying the Rites of the Ascent's cathedral in Wander.
A point of clarification. Can I have hands first? That seems.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I thought.
So you hear someone shout, "What the fuck is that?" And so like the people in the stairwell start freaking the fuck out. And they open fire on you with their like assault rifles and SMGs, which basically does nothing because those aren't anti-AV weapons. But you can see like some of them are realizing this and they are reaching for grenades. But before we tackle that, I think it is time for us to take a break. So, everyone, we will be back in about 5 minutes, and we will see you then.
Cool.